If y'all love black people, like this, comment, and share if y'all love black people.
So I want to talk about body neutrality and dating. So one of the big focuses of body neutrality is getting to a point where you are no longer self-objectifying. Self-objectification is the idea that we see ourselves through the lens of other people, even if it's just subconscious. This may look like putting on makeup before you go to the grocery store, or putting on better looking tights before you go to the gym. So where I've struggled with my body neutrality is figuring out where attraction fits into all of this. Basically what it comes down to is I don't want to be objectified by another person. I don't want to be simplified down to just my body, but I do want someone to think I'm attractive. And I think this is where I have a unique perspective as a tall female athlete. If someone wants to date me, they have to be 100% enthusiastic about the way that I look. I know I'm not for everyone, but I've been with too many people that put up with certain parts of my body. So I'm just gonna be picky, and if you're not enthusiastic, then move along. So I'm telling you, you're allowed to be that picky. You deserve to feel neutral when you're on your own time, and you deserve to feel attractive when you're with your partner.
About men of color and white women are kind of the same. Okay, I know they're not the same, but I don't know, the way they
I have been asking for a response to this video for the past 5 days. My bad, y'all. Spring break just started and I've been traveling down to Alabama to see my grandma for the first time since COVID. So I've been tired, I haven't been on my phone, but I checked my mentions and I probably got over 50 tags in one video, the most I've ever gotten in a singular video. Y'all have been asking for it, so let's get into it. Long story short, she's not wrong, not even in the slightest. Made a video further explaining how she wasn't trying to equate their oppression, but rather noticed that both dual identity groups similarly don't understand intersectionality because of the privilege that they gain from one of their identities. Also how this usually comes at the expense of women of color. Both of these things are factual, and that doesn't mean that I wasn't taken aback by the video at first. Once I understood what she was talking about, I agreed, and it's not even that hot nor new of a take. I've seen it plenty of times. Part of me wishes that the nuance that she added in the second video, she added in the first video. For me, but for the people on TikTok who I know aren't as versed in this topic, I can already see the thousands of white women conflating what she's saying because they don't understand what she's talking about. So allow me to take care of them. While yes, men of color have been able to weaponize their role in the patriarchy to further oppress women of color and LGBTQ members, white women have been able to weaponize their role in the patriarchy and white supremacy to further oppress women of color, men of color, and LGBTQ members.
So I just got out of a very emotional therapy appointment. If you guys don't know, trigger warning, I am talking about my eating disorder right now. But I have been seeing a health at every size therapist, and I've gone through a couple different nutritionists, and I'm having trouble finding a good fit when it comes to a good nutritionist for me. I have a background of over-exercising, extreme restricting, counting calories, measuring food, obsessively not letting myself enjoy my life and food. I'm just feeling really discouraged because my new nutritionist wants me to measure my food, only allow desserts once to twice a week. She talked about not keeping certain foods in the house if they're going to tempt me. And I told her that this is all very triggering to me and that I don't see how going back into restrictive, disordered habits is going to help me in any way. I guess I'm sharing this because recovery is hard, there will be setbacks, and it might take time to find the right fit when it comes to a good nutritionist or therapist to support you in the way that you need to be supported. And if you're in the thick of this right now, I am right here with you.
Need that son of the I'm richer than your mammy. But your mammy put up on me and give me with me. I like sex, I like drugs, I like money. Okay, I like drugs, it's so silly but it ain't funny. Yeah.
The man who shames you for revealing your body isn't bothered by your revealed body. He's bothered that you're unashamed of revealing your body. So he shames you to try to break you. Because broken women are the pillars men use to uphold patriarchy.
I work at a public university in the state of Illinois. As such, I am a state employee, and as such, I have to take sexual assault and harassment training every single year. So here's something that I heard during one of my trainings that fucking radicalized the shit out of me. This lady kind of asked us in the audience, she was like, what are some ways to prevent sexual assault? And everyone was like, oh, well, you know, I took Taekwondo, like, I have, like, an alarm, I have a whistle, I have some mace. And the lady, she was just sitting there looking at us, and she was like, no, honey, that's not how you prevent sexual assault. That's how you personally avoid being the victim of a sexual assault at that moment. You didn't stop a rape from happening. You just made sure that the rapist chose someone else.
Welcome to part 2 of asking guys on Tinder if they consider themselves to be a feminist. First up we have Connor, who avoided the question, asked what kind of opening line it is. It's one to protect my safety, Connor. Next up we have Caleb, who actually considers himself to be an everyoneist. I was kind of annoyed, but then described to him what feminism actually is, and then he was on the same page. It's funny because that's usually my reply when a guy messages me. Joshua's reply was yes, unless I wanted the answer to be no, and in that case it's no. This kind of scared me because how many actually thought no, but they said yes just to make me like them.
Nobody is saying that I haven't worked hard for my body. I have worked extraordinarily hard for my body. And I love working on my body. It's something that I enjoy doing. I love being able to literally manipulate the way that my body looks. It's amazing. But that still does not change the fact that walking down the street, I will be viewed differently than somebody in a larger body. It does not change the fact that people will be nicer to me than they may be to somebody in a larger body. It does not change the fact that I can go to a restaurant and order basically whatever I want and nobody will ask me, "Are you sure?" It doesn't change the fact that I can wear many different sizes of clothing and look cute in whatever I choose. It does not change the fact that people will assume that I am at the end of a fitness journey when somebody in a larger body hasn't yet started theirs. Maybe they're years ahead of me in their fitness journey. I know nothing about them based on their appearance. When we talk about privilege, we're not talking about your work ethic. We're just talking about the response you get for it. Happy Thursday.
Have you ever heard of set point theory? Let's talk about it. Set point theory states that for any given person, there is a body weight, or more likely a range of body weight of about 20 pounds in either direction, where a person's body feels the most comfortable, the safest, and is the most likely to be healthy and metabolically healthy. Now, keep in mind that this is a scientific theory, which doesn't mean it's just an idea or a hypothesis. It means that there is data to back this up. Now, it might seem logical to assume that set point for most people is going to fall somewhere within the normal BMI range, but it turns out that that is not true. Depending on the individual, their set point or set range can fall anywhere on the huge range that bodies can fall on in terms of size. And whatever a person's set point or set range is, their body is going to work tirelessly to keep them there.
But when he loves me, I feel like I'm floating. When he calls me pretty, I feel like somebody. Even when we fade eventually to nothing, you will always be my favorite form of loving.
Okay, you guys know how we talked about how white people have all been psychologically conditioned to be racist, and they have to actively unlearn that conditioning to be anti-racist? The same thing applies with cisgendered men. All men have been psychologically conditioned to be misogynistic under our patriarchal society, which is why they struggle to see women as multifaceted human beings. Why you see those men who change once they have a daughter, they're like, oh yeah, we really need to protect women. I have a daughter. Because their daughter breaks out of the Madonna complex, isn't viewed as like a mammy figure, but also isn't viewed as a whore. But then again, let's go even deeper. The daughter's still viewed as something that can be controlled. And once those daughters start to break out of that control and think for themselves, often they get mistreated by their fathers. Because now his manhood is threatened by her intelligence. And that's just one example. Men need to actively unlearn their misogyny.
Story time. When I was 26, I decided to have my tubes tied, so I made an appointment with my OBGYN. When she walked into the exam room, she asked me where my husband was. I thought it was weird, but I just told her he was at work. She didn't like that answer, so she sent me to the front desk to make a new appointment. So I brought him to the second appointment. So then she asked him if he wants any more kids. He says no, and so then she asked me, what if I were to lose a child? Would I want more? Would I want to replace them? Which I thought was odd at the moment, but now having lost a child, it pisses me off the most. Then she tried to talk me out of it. Mind you, I already had 4 kids. She had him sign some forms, and then I signed under him. That was just in 2018. Moral of the story: reproductive rights are about more than just abortion.
Hey there, hi, my name is Mercury and I'm the trans maintenance lady, and please don't scroll, okay? See, I need your help to do something really special. I was contacted this morning by a mother who wanted me to speak directly to their soon-to-be 18-year-old daughter. Jenna, the world gets better out there. It's beautiful and amazing and extraordinary. And as someone who's seen a lot of different things in the world and has experienced the lowest of lows, I've also seen the highest of highs. And I'm so happy that you're in this world too, because that means we can spread our wings and do so many beautiful things if we just bring love and hope in the world and act for change. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you follow me, because now you know all the people who follow me are going to tell you that they love you and they're so happy you're here too. Thank you so much for everything and have a wonderful day.